Today we'll be talking about the top 12 features of Amazfit Bip 6. Now this is a hybrid, so I can't really call it a fitness tracker because it looks, it feels, and it's got the functionalities of a full-on smartwatch, and yet it's priced like a very budget fitness tracker. So let's talk about this tracker slash smartwatch in a bit of detail. The link to the listing is in the description below the video. Do check it out if you're after a sharp price. And now let's dive in and talk about these 12 features that make this fitness tracker almost a smartwatch. Let's do it. The first feature I want to discuss is the AMOLED display, 1.97 inches in size, 2000 nits of brightness, and gets a resolution of 390 by 450 pixels. This display is actually covered off by tempered glass, so this is pretty much like Gorilla Glass, so you'll be protected from the daily wear and tear. Another feature which makes this fitness tracker a smartwatch is that it does get auto brightness, so you can set it manually or use your ambient light sensor. Very good stuff. Let's go to number 2. This is a full-on health tracker. So you've got your SpO₂ monitoring, aka blood oxygen saturation. You can monitor your heart rate, your stress rate, as well as you can monitor your sleep with 3 different sleep stages: REM, deep, and light sleep. And the best thing is you can actually look at your sleep patterns not through the app only, but on this large display, so you can see your sleep chart. And if you want to look at your insights, you will actually have to go to your app, but nonetheless, this is amazing stuff. We get 140 sport modes on here. All of these sport modes are goal based, meaning that you can set your distance goal, your calories goal, your time goal. It supports a wide range of auto detection of your workouts, from the basics like running, cycling, swimming, to something more advanced and functional fitness. You can actually program this smartwatch to count the number of reps and sets you do at the gym in your anaerobic workouts. Very impressive. This is sort of to do with sport modes, but not really. But the fact is, the Amazfit Bip 6 actually gets inbuilt GPS and it connects to 5 satellite networks. What's also quite important is that on this watch you can download apps. I don't want to talk about it as a separate feature because that's just, we're going to have a list of like 30 features which are absolutely cool on the Amazfit Bip 6. But downloading maps is something that you can do, and there's a couple of different apps that you can use for your maps. So very impressive. And again, you don't need to carry your smartphone with you to track your distance and your speed while you're cycling or running with the Amazfit Bip 6. We really need to talk about the battery life on the Bip 6. So the claimed battery life in typical usage is 14 days. Well, that's not quite true. I use it on a daily basis, and I can say that, yeah, we can definitely push out 8 to 9 days, maybe 10 days with a stretch, not 14, but still a week and a half of continuous use with all the tracking of your heart rate, stress, SpO₂, sleep monitoring. That's really good stuff. And considering we get this huge, almost 2-inch AMOLED display on which the colors literally pop off at you. If you're going to use the AOD function, that's your always on display, the battery life will reduce to about 4 days. Still pretty good. If we talk about the Apple Watch, well, 1 day. Samsung Watch, 2 to 3 days. So whatever you're using, this watch beats it. We also get Restore IQ on this watch. That is basically a sleep algorithm and readiness score. It's advanced sleep tracking which monitors sleep stages, naps, breathing, and HRV, so your heart rate variability, delivering high accuracy and recovery readiness scores. So this is something that is usually found on very advanced smartwatches and sport watches from the likes of Garmin, Polar, and now we're getting it right here on a $70 tracker. Unbelievable. And of course we need to mention Zepp Flow. So this is your voice activation and voice control of this watch. So that means you can start sport modes. You can get any widget open, but you also have an AI assistant that comes with the Zepp app. That means you don't have to actually sign up to anything like an Amazon AI assistant or anything else. No, this is an AI assistant that's right there with you all the time. As long as you have a Bluetooth connection, to your smartphone. And I use it quite extensively. My next video is going to be all about that app and how we can maximize the value from that AI assistant. In terms of build, this watch is a beast as well, in a good way. Not an ugly beast, but rather a beast that features so much value. So we get an aluminum frame that makes the watch look premium from the outside or when we gaze down at the watch. But the watch gets a polycarbonate or plastic case, which keeps it very light on top of your wrist. We get the tempered glass we mentioned, but what we also have here is 5 ATM water resistance. So that means you can take it in the showers with you. You don't have to take the watch off. You can go swimming with it. And considering that you've got auto detection of your swim strokes, well, makes this watch very functional indeed. I mentioned a lot of downloadable apps for this watch. That's one thing, but you can also get a lot of, like hundreds of downloadable faces. And the good thing is they are mostly free. Something that you're not going to see on Samsung, Apple, Huawei, Xiaomi. No. Most of these brands are now charging you for the cool faces, not with the BIP 6. Lots of free stuff. And again, it's not just the faces that you download. You can download widgets and apps. So lots of downloadable goodies, like a calculator. I've got a news feed. I don't always have the time to catch the latest news on my phone. So hey, I just pick up the watch and I can read off the latest news right off the watch. Very impressive. With this watch, we also get Bluetooth calling. That means that we can pick up calls or make calls straight from our wrist because we have a speaker as well as a microphone. That was something usually left for the very advanced and very expensive smartwatches, not fitness trackers, but we do get it here. The last feature that I want to mention, and again, it's not the last feature because this watch has so many premium perks, but this one is extra special. The fact is, we get notification management. What do I mean? Let's talk about replies, quick replies. Usually, we need to program these, like for example, in the Huawei smartwatches or the Xiaomi smartwatches. We have to say, okay, so I'll call you back later. We type it into the app, and then we use it as a quick reply. Not with the BIP 6. Here, you can type in any replies. On top of that, you can actually audio record your messages. That's great. You can add any kind of emojis. And we know that's usually a problem, especially with the Apple Watch and the Samsung watches. Because if you're using a non-Samsung smartphone, you usually have problems with adding emojis to your quick replies. Well, not here. A bonus feature which I absolutely love on this smartwatch is the fact that we have an AI assistant. I talked about it previously, but the key thing here is that this AI assistant actually speaks back at you. We've seen other smartwatches which get a speaker, but still the AI assistant is just there and gives you the response and you read it off the screen. While with the Amazfit BIP 6, it actually speaks to you. And we can use the offline voice commands like, lift up the volume and the volume goes up automatically. So there's just so much functionality with this smartwatch that it becomes a tool, a real tool on your wrist.